I believe there are three main objectives you need to focus on when creating a successful and sustainable business. Today, my guests and I are going to focus on all three of them and why they are so very important. Before we get started today, I'm honored to introduce my guest, Laura Dulay. Laura is an entrepreneur for 14 years. She owns 3 salons. She's also a corporate teacher for Aveda. She has credentials, but more than that, she has passion, and she has a history and a future of success. Laura, welcome to People and Profit.
Hi, Susan. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm glad you're here today, and we're going to just dig right in. I talked in the intro about 3 objectives required for a successful business, and the first one is, we agreed, it's passion for your own growth. Talk to us about where your story started and how it started with passion for your own growth.
Absolutely. So I've been wanting to be a hair salon owner since I was about 5 years old. Oh. So I got started in the beauty industry right out of high school. I worked as a freelance hair and makeup artist. And then during that time, I would always practice, set up photo shoots with the model and photographer. And then I started working for the Ritz-Carlton, which gave me an amazing education in the highest level of customer service that you can provide to your guests.
We all know that.
Yes. And I then started working for another salon. And that was my education in what not to do. That's when I realized if you don't nurture and value your relationships, so this was an Aveda partner, he lost that relationship with Aveda and had to walk out from his team. So that was a good learning moment for me of what not to do. And then I opened up my first location in 2012.
Wow.
And then expanded to 2 more locations. And then a few years ago, I wanted to start on my journey to teaching. Mm-hmm. And I felt like I've learned so much in this industry. I had a lot to share with others. So I was taking education classes on how to be able to teach. And I auditioned for Aveda Corporate, and I've been teaching for them ever since. And I even wrote my own curriculum on guest care excellence.
Wow, which I can't wait to have you share that with me, because I think, as we have spoken, it's transferable. You take care of your guests. I'm in the title insurance world, and I love thinking that my clients are actually guests. Yes. And I have 18 offices under my leadership, and I've told my team every now and then, walk outside, open your door and walk in and think, what would you think if you walked into this business? See it from your guest's viewpoint. So I love that you have guests, that our clients are also our guests. One thing that you talked a lot about before we started to record was how you mastered your craft, the work that you put in to make sure that you were the best.
Definitely. If you want to be successful in your career, and this goes across all industries, you really have to be committed to your growth. Mm-hmm. So, for example, when I was behind the chair, I really struggled perfecting my Victoria Beckham stacked bob. Mm-hmm. So I signed myself up for a Vidal Sassoon workshop. They gave me all stacked bob models, and by the end of the workshop, I had that mastered. But I still had to go home and burn through a few dozen mannequin heads just to keep practicing and to enhance and sharpen my skills. Mm-hmm. Another thing that I do to be a continual learner is I only listen to audiobooks in the car. I don't listen to music anymore.
Wow.
So I love books on leadership and guest care and building relationships. And you really have to be intentional about scheduling out your education to be able to grow. So I schedule out conferences and classes that I attend just to make sure I'm still growing as a leader.
Do you take any of your team members to any of those conferences?
Always.
Okay.
Always.
All right.
So I've got 3 amazing managers and 3 supervisors at each location, and they all have want to grow as leaders as well. So I bring them. I provide amazing technical education to my stylists, but I also bring them along as well. I have several stylists that have a great passion for teaching and sharing with others. So I make sure to get them registered for those education classes that I took so that they can be an effective teacher.
So you went from being passionate
Yes.
for your own growth.
Yes.
And I'll make it clear to everyone, you don't, what's the word I'm looking for? You don't get rid of your passion for your own growth. You add to it, right?
Yes, definitely.
So you add to it, and then you became passionate for others' growth.
Yes, that's what fuels me now. I used to, earlier in my career, love being behind the chair and working with the guests, and that's what I was passionate about. But once I became a salon owner and had my own team to take care of, my passion really shifted to growing others. In order to do that, I provide them with classes. I meet with them quarterly. And
you said you have 80 team members, and
yes,
you meet with each one of them individually.
Every single one. So the managers meet with each of them every week to have check-ins, see how they can best support them, see what their goals are for the month, what they need to work on, and if there's anything urgent, they'll pass it along to me. But otherwise, I meet with each of them quarterly, and we go over any successes we should be celebrating in their personal life as well as professional life, goal setting, go through their numbers, any opportunities for growth. But one component there, we always talk about their education.
Wow.
So we reflect on what they learned in the education that they have taken already, and then we always get them signed up for more education. And this isn't just my stylist, it's also my guest care team. So we get them signed up for guest care training, product knowledge, just so they're growing in their position as well.
Are your competitors doing this?
Probably not.
Right. This is one of the benefits. So this is a commercial for come work for Laura, because that growth that you're focused on. So if y'all haven't missed it, the first objective that we, Laura and I both believe, is credited to a successfully sustainable business. The first one is just passion within yourself for growth. The second one, which Laura just talked about so eloquently, is passion for your people and their growth. What we need to say is that you started serving the clients directly.
Yes.
And then when you stopped serving the clients, you started serving your team members so they could serve the clients.
Yes. One of my favorite quotes is from Richard Branson, who I think is the most amazing entrepreneur. And he says, take great care of your employees. If you do that, they'll take great care of your guest. So this is a way to really be able to scale your business. I know I'm not able to touch and care for each one of my guests every day, but since I take such great care of my employees, I know I'm able to do that through my team members.
Right. And they also witness you doing it. You also said something to me about there's nothing that's beneath you. So if the floor needs swept.
Oh, definitely. So that was one thing that I learned at the Ritz-Carlton, is that every single team member is part of the housekeeping department. So you're always scanning to be able to sweep and clean. And I love how you said, go in with your eyes of your guest. But my team members will see me shampoo, a few times a week. I give the rituals, the hand massages, the aromatherapy. They see me giving my full attention to whatever guest I'm with. And I will never ask my team members to do anything that I won't do myself.
Right.
I think leading by example is a really important component of leadership.
And I think we also talk about efficiency. So I, like you, will do all the things. I will greet the customer. I will answer the phone. I will sweep the floor. I will clean up the mess. I will do all the things. But also realizing that I can't do all the things all the time, because if I do, then I can't rise above and teach others. So how do you find a balance with showing that you will, but knowing that you can't, because part of your business model and mine as well is leading with a high level of efficiency.
Definitely. So it's important when you're in any location to take a little bit of time to show your team members what they should be doing and to lead by example. But otherwise, you really have to be masterful with your calendar. So you need to schedule everything out. So all of those one-on-one meetings with my team members, I schedule them all out. I send my team members a calendar invite. We've got basically an itinerary when I'm meeting with them. And I think just scheduling everything is the way that you can make sure that everything important in your life, whether it's education, meetings, is all getting completed.
And you are healthy?
Yes. So Susan and I, we met at the gym. So I've been going to the same gym for 15 years, and I work with a personal trainer 5 mornings a week, and that's scheduled as well. And it's really important for your personal relationships also. I schedule out time with my daughter, schedule out time with my friends. There's nothing that I hate more when, a friend says, oh, we got to, see each other sometime. We got to get something on the calendar. Every time a friend says that to me, I pull out my calendar and I go, let's do it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, another 3 months will go by.
Right,
You don't
and it
see
won't
that
happen.
friend.
So the third objective that we talked about was the longevity of the relationships.
Yes.
And I can't focus enough on sustainability. I love that I've done this 32 years. It'll be 33 years in April. I've been with the same company. And part of the reason for that is because I understand passion in self, passion in others, serving, but how to create relationships that have longevity to them. I still have clients that I had when I first started in the business that still do business. So how do you, and I believe that part of the success with longevity is efficient time blocking and doing it now instead of doing it later. I love that. If a friend says we should get together, absolutely, let's put something on the calendar now. I do the same thing with my clients. If I have a client that texts and says, we haven't done lunch in a while, let's look at our calendars right now. So I think expressing the fact that you're efficient, that you time block, I believe that really makes a difference in the longevity of your relationships. Do you think so too?
Yes. And there's a few other really important components. It's making people feel appreciated. So I know with my team, through our Salon app, I can send them recognitions. I make sure to compliment them in public. When they bring their family in, I compliment them to their family. I compliment them in front of their guest. We do awards and recognitions so they feel appreciated. Social media has been a good one with that because every time they post their work, I'm able to like it and leave a compliment for them. So you need to be doing all those layers to make sure your employees feel valued and appreciated. And then with our guests as well, we do things like loyalty programs. If I have a service provider out sick or one that moves away, me and my managers, we all call our guests personally, let them know how much they're valued, and ask them to try out another service provider. I even got a Google review from a guest the other day that said he's so impressed that he got a personal call from me when the guest was out, when the service provider was out sick. So making sure that I still touch the guests and make sure that they feel valued and nurture that relationship is really important as well.
You have to be in the day-to-day without being in the day-to-day.
Exactly.
And that is honestly, I think, a true sign of a leader that understands how to stay in it but not be in it. And I have seen businesses not grow because leaders feel like they have to be in it, and they're really not leaders. They end up just being doers in their business. And then I've also seen businesses grow but fail because the personal touch of the person that started it and created it is gone. So you've managed to find a way to stay in it but not be in it so that you can grow it. So I have to ask you 2 things. This first question might embarrass you, but you have to answer it honestly. Do you see that your team members look at you and want to be like you?
Yes And no, I think they see qualities in me that they want to emulate, but I think when they see what I do in a day-to-day basis, they say, I never want to own a hair salon.
Right. Do you think you impact things about their life? Like maybe they want to be healthier. Maybe they want to dress nicer. Maybe they want to serve better.
And these are all things that we go over during our one-on-one meetings with them. I ask them questions like, what self-care action are you taking? And, what education have you taken recently? What did you learn from it? What are some of your financial goals? I want them to be better, and I inspire my team to want to do better for themselves. So nothing is more rewarding when I have team members that will tell me, when I started with you, I was sleeping on my friend's couch and had negative $200 in my account, and you've shown me how to grow my income, and I just purchased my first home.
Right.
I just purchased a car, and there's nothing more rewarding than that.
Right. And the simple things with me and my employees. I went to the gym. I started running.
Yes.
So we impact. And I think that's the key also to our third objective, which is longevity in relationships when you continue to impact people. And I think it's also about being genuine. When you said something about you compliment, you don't ever make up what you compliment someone about. You compliment them something genuinely that you see in them that you like. And then that just creates, I think, long-term relationships. So many things. But what I wanted to ask you also is, what is next for Laura Dulay?
Oh, goodness. I just want to grow at this point, my education company and continue to get more salons that hire me to coach for them. That's been really fun to see the growth in other salons and connecting with team members outside my own team. I've worked really hard to develop the leadership within my team. So my team members all feel very well taken care of. So I like to continue that throughout the Aveda network in Florida.
Oh, good. Well, they are lucky to have you.
Thank
And
you.
also, side note, listen to who Laura's chosen to partner with. Ritz-Carlton, Aveda. Those are brands, those are names, they are recognizable, and they have served well.
Aveda has an amazing business model that's really focused on sustainability, giving back, education, and it's just an amazing brand, and we feel so fortunate to be one of their partners.
Well, Laura, thank you so much for joining today. And those of you at home, thank you for joining as well. If you have more interest in Fidelity National Title, my team, you know where to reach me. And I also encourage you all to reach out to Laura and her team at Salon Dulay. Thank you again for tuning in to People and Profit.